This is a 29-year male patient with having partner of 25 years, a married life of 3 years, and presented to us for primary infertility evaluations with complaint of azoospermia, which was evaluated outside. The couple denies any past history of any medical or surgical history. On examinations, BMI was 28.6 and bilateral testes were small, around 1 centimeter in size. Bilateral was were palpable with a flat epidermis. Gynecomastia noted on general examination.
So from this history, what's your impression?
Sir, 29-year-old with primary infertility and azoospermia with gynecomastia. So I would like to give a diagnosis of an disorder of sexual differentiation of an Klinefelter syndrome can be the possibility, sir, because of small testes and gynecomastia and azoospermia.
Okay.
Obesity.
Yeah. Obesity, small testes, gynecomastia, both pointing towards a syndromic situation, na?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Situation. Okay.
Sir, since the VAS are palpable, unlikely to be means possibility of obstructive azoospermia is less chance, and maybe a primary testicular failure also, sir, because since there is bilateral testes of a small size, so differentials also can be a primary testicular failure or primary pituitary hypogonadism also can be the cause, sir.
Can you also keep a possibility of testicular atrophy? You don't know.
Okay, sir.
Because the atrophy can be because of the mum's childhood. Mum's orchitis.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. But of course, it will go down because of the other obvious things.
So maybe drug-induced or any other cause causing an primary testicular failure also can be the cause, sir.
Sure.
Or pituitary cause, sir. I would like to think of differential of any pituitary hypogonadism also, sir. First would be the Klinefelter in the syndromic association in view of positive findings, sir.
I agree. Go ahead.
Sir, at this point, I would like to counsel the couple since the age of the couple is less only the 29 years age. My first step would be the fertility evaluation in like semen analysis and hormonal evaluation, sir. Those would be my first approach to the patient who presented to me with infertility and these clinical finding examinations, which includes an FSH and LH, along with that serum hormone binding globulin, prolactin, estrogen, and along with that seminal analysis, sir, and the lipid profile and HbA1c, sir, because since it's a metabolic syndrome also can be used.
Sure.
Seminal analysis reported volume of 0.5 ml, sir, volume, and fructose is present, and no sperms were noticed in the microscopic examination. Volume also.
Which volume was very low, volume
yes,
was.
sir. Yes, sir. Volume
fructose is present. Fructose is present.
Then fructose is present means unlikely to be any obstructive cause, sir. If fructose negative means I can suspect any seminal vesicle obstruction, sir.
Is
non-diabetic and triglycerides 225, slightly on high, 150.
Slightly on the high side.
Slightly on high, yes, sir. Sir, with these, do you have any hormonal evaluation? Sir, the FSH and LH reports values were elevated, and the total testosterone is on lower side of 198 nanograms per deciliter, and the bioavailable testosterone is also on lower side, and serum prolactin being normal. So with these reports, I can think that it can be an testicular failure, because the gonadotropin hormones, means the FSH and LH are being normal.
Are elevated. So this is pointing more towards a testicular failure.
Testicular failure, yes, sir.
Yes. What is the semen analysis? I overlooked it.
Sir, semen analysis reported no sperms noted, sir.
No sperms.
And the fructose positive and volume of 0.5 ml, sir.
Yeah.
So unlikely to be any obstructive cause of azoospermia, sir, because VAS is also palpable and fructose is also positive. So, cannot rule out the diagnosis of obstructive azoospermia, but unlikely to be an obstructive azoospermia.
Well, if you say that this is, I agree with you that this is a more likely to be a case of primary testicular failure or other anything else. The hormones are normal, so that is okay. Is okay. So, what was done?
Ultrasound report was given, which reported left testis of 1.7 cc volume and right testis of 2 cc. Both the testis were smaller in size, sir.
What is the normal volume of testis?
Sir, in cc,
Yeah.
15,
Normal volume.
15 ml, I would like to expect to be in normal volume.
Yeah, book will say a little higher. Book will say something about 20-25 ml. But possibly in our country, it is 15 to 18 ml. It is pretty normal.
Sir. Yes, sir.
So that way, 2 cc and 1.7 cc. And the other thing I would like to emphasize is when the volume is low, it is spermatogenetic tissue which is lost. Because it is the spermatogenetic tissue, semiferous tubules, which form part of the volume of the testis.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So loss of testicular volume means that testicular tissue is lost actually. This is hardly any testis. Okay. So what are the options in front of you? Diagnosis. You have got the clinical parameters, you have got the semen parameters, you have the testicular morphological parameters, and you have got the hormonal parameters.
Yes, sir.
So this is a primary testicular failure.
Yes, sir.
So for the management of this couple, what are the options available to you?
Sir, the first thing is issues with him is the infertility, sir, and along with that, the low testosterone and obesity. So he has a metabolic syndrome as well as infertility issues. So I have to address both, sir. So if the primary aim of the couple is for fathering a child or children, then I would like to not supplement them with an testosterone, sir. And my advice would be an donor sperm ideally, sir, because since the volume of the testis is also low, very less likely chances of retrieving the sperm from the testis of the patient, sir. Maybe there can be an microtesse or testicular sperm.
Dr. Purnapar, whatever you are saying is correct, but when you approach the couple, this is a very sensitive issue.
Correct, sir. Yes, sir.
You must list in front of them what are all the possible available options.
Sir,
starting from you said donor insemination, microtesticular sperm extraction,
yes, sir. Intracytoplasmic sperm
injections, or even adoption.
Okay, sir.
Do you agree with me or not?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Adoption is an issue. Adoption is an issue, and it is an option. Is an accepted norms in our society from time immemorial. So therefore, don't hesitate. You should list those 4 or 5 options together.
Yes, sir.
Explain everything, and then let the couple come in a second visit after discussing with their family. Then take a final decision. Fine.
Yes, sir.
So, what is the chance that this atrophic testis would yield some spermatogenetic tissue on microdissection?
Sir, very less, sir. I would like to give a percentage of 5 to 10%, sir.
That's very good. Very good. You must say that. But very little chance of success. And finding 1 or 2 sperms and using those for intracytoplasmic sperm injection, and then having an IVF, and then having pregnancy and viral baby is a very remote dream. Okay.
Sir.
Yes.
So they have went across and then karyotyping, sir. Chromosome analysis reported that is a mosaic pattern of Klinefelter syndrome.
Klinefelter syndrome. Okay.
Sir, since it is a mosaic pattern, and not only of mosaic patterns, the studies shows that, as you said, the percentage of retrieving the sperm is a possibility and fathering a child is there. So first option I would like to give him to is microtestis, sir.
Yeah, theoretically, yes, no doubt about it. Discussion. Option, donor sperm, IUI. Of course, is a part of before that. Surgical sperm retrieval, replacement therapy, lifelong. Therapy is only for.
Sorry, sir.
Testosterone replacement therapy for what?
Sir, since he's a 29-year-old with low testosterone levels, so testosterone is responsible for general metabolism and bone health of the patient.
For taking care of the metabolic syndrome.
Yes, sir. Correct, sir. So,
that's correct.
If the primary motto is infertility, so I would like to proceed with the above mentioned options of donor sperm and surgical retrieval, sir. At the same time, after this is settled, then I would like to supplement him with the testosterone, sir.
Okay. Corona,
Sir.
very nice case, but I would say possibly in exam this kind of case may not be brought. In general, we try to avoid these kind of cases. I just give you a short case. I don't have a slide presentation. I just give you the history.
Sure, sir. Yes, sir.
Only yesterday, the mother came with a 15 months old boy.
Okay, sir.
With right-sided testis absent from the scrotum.
Okay, sir.
So 15 months boy, otherwise healthy, delivered at term by normal delivery. The mother is noted in the first month after birth, but she has come now
Yes, sir.
at the age of 15 months.
Okay, sir.
Tell me what all you will examine.
Sir, examination of the opposite side testis is important, sir, because you said one side testis is not filled.
Yeah, I'll give you the other side testis is about 1.5 centimeter, not palpated in the left hemiscrotum. The penis is normally developed, prepuce is normal.
Okay, sir. Since the prepuce and penis are all normal and opposite testis is also normal, I would like to not to go ahead with an means my diagnosis at this point means I would like to examine the inguinal region also, sir. When the child is quiet and calm, I would like to examine the inguinal region, since whether I could be able to palpate the testis in the inguinal region or not. That is the first thing, sir.
I could palpate a small, something about a centimeter size soft tissue mass near the tubercle on the right side.
Sir, then my next step would be an ultrasound of the abdomen and the inguinal region to confirm that, because clinical examination may or may not be a perfect, sir. So I would still rather advise an ultrasound abdomen inguinal region to confirm that.
It showed the same thing. It confirmed the physical finding that a so-called possibly testicular tissue is seen near the external ring on the right side.
Sir, then I would like to explain the parents that in view of undescended testis, for the functioning of the secondary characters as well as the fertility issues, option would be to go ahead with an orchidopexy, which will go ahead with an inguinal exploration, inguinal approach itself.
No, you do it right now or you want to wait?
No, sir. Since the child is now 15 months, I would like to proceed, go ahead and do an procedure now itself, sir.
Okay, very good. This is an ectopic testis or an Anderson testis?
Sir, it is palpable at the means you said of the region of the tubercle region, so more probably in the superficial inguinal ring. So cannot say exactly what it is, an ectopic or this. Since it is in the normal pathway, I would like to think it was an undescended testis only, sir.
My clinical impression is, I will give you the reason. This is very easily palpable,
Sir.
and therefore I think it is more likely to be ectopic in location, because if it had it been in the inguinal canal, these testes in the inguinal canal don't become so easily palpable.
Okay, sir.
Because 15 months baby is a little chubby baby, and posterior wall of the inguinal canal is what? Right, fossa domiciliaris, which is soft tissue.
Yes, sir.
So against the tough external oblique aponeurosis, you are able to feel this easily. So I am more intended to feel it to be ectopic testis.
Okay, sir.
Fine. Anyway, so you are justified to advise operation without delay to bring it down to the scrotum.
Yes, sir.
Okay. The mother asked one question.
Sir.
बच्चे थोड़ा और बड़ा हो जाए उसके बाद करें ऑपरेशन. What will be your answer?
Sir, the ideal situation is not to delay the procedure. If she wants to delay the procedure, the options to be explained to them, means the risks needs to be explained to the parents, sir. The risks would be the torsion of the testis can be the possibility, and other possibility would be an tumor, sir. 1% chance of malignancy of the testis is also can be there, and the other problems would be fertility issues, and since the other side testis is normal, may not be very obvious, but still the fertility may be at subnormal level. So considering all these three possibilities, I would like to counsel the parents to go ahead with the procedure, sir.
Does any historic change goes on from now onwards to puberty in these years in the testis?
Sir, till the pre-pubertal, up to level of the puberty, may not be having the significant changes within the histological, sir, because the seminiferous tubules or the Leydig cells, Sertoli cells formed by the time of birth will multiply and keep the environment the same. So post-puberty, there might be changes happening, and which can lead to the malignancy, sir.
The more important issue is that the child's psychological development. So it is better that the testis is brought down right now.
Yes, sir.
Otherwise, possibly you can wait up to pre-pubertal stage, maybe about 8-10 years. Justify that. So the standard teaching in our time also had been that the testis should be brought to scrotum before the child goes to school.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Anyway, so that's good. So what kind of testic orchidopexy you would do?
Sir, I would like to go with an inguinal approach, sir. So I would have an suprainguinal incision and dissect the cord structures and maintain the vascularity, and my principles will be to have an adequate vascular control, means maintaining the good vascularity, and non-tension, bringing the testis into the inguinal, from the inguinal region into the scrotum, sir. And
how do you retain it?
With an delayed absorbable suture, sir. in the subdartos pouch. I like to fix the testis in the subdartos pouch with an delayed absorbable suture. Taking the stitch through the tunica. Try to avoid this taking stitch to the tunica.
Okay. Would you do a laparoscopy on him?
No, sir. Since that testis is felt at the superficial inguinal ring, so I would like. I would like to go ahead with. It's not necessary, sir. Not necessary.
Sure. So it is needed only in cases of non-palpable testis.
Yes.
Okay.